That piece of fish on your plate, the one you thought was healthy, might be silently harming you and your family. We're told to eat more fish for its health benefits, but many common supermarket fish are loaded with dangerous chemicals, contaminants, and mercury. This isn't fear-mongering, it's about empowering you with the facts. Today, we'll uncover 6 fish experts now warn us to avoid, breaking down the risks and how to make safer choices. It's time to take control of what you eat and ensure your healthy choices are truly healthy. Let's get started. Tilapia is everywhere. Affordable, mild, and on countless menus. It's become a staple in restaurants, cafeterias, and home kitchens around the world, thanks to its low price and neutral flavor that appeals to just about everyone. But behind its popularity lies a troubling reality. The massive demand for tilapia has led to disturbing farming practices, especially in countries where regulations are weak or poorly enforced. These industrial-scale operations prioritize quantity over quality, often at the expense of both the fish and the consumer. Most tilapia are raised in overcrowded ponds, where disease can spread rapidly. To keep the fish alive in these stressful conditions, farmers routinely dose the water with antibiotics and chemicals. These drug residues can remain in the fish, and when you eat them, you're not just getting protein. You're also consuming traces of antibiotics. Over time, this can contribute to the growing problem of antibiotic resistance, making it harder to treat infections in humans. Farmed tilapia are fed a diet of cheap corn and soy, which is far from what they'd eat in the wild. This unnatural diet makes their flesh higher in inflammatory omega-6 fats, and much lower in the healthy omega-3s you'd expect from fish. Chronic inflammation, fueled by these unhealthy fats, is linked to a range of serious health issues, including heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, and even some cancers. Shockingly, some farms even use animal waste as feed, a practice that raises the risk of dangerous bacterial contamination and introduces harmful pathogens into the food chain. The water in these ponds can become a toxic mix of waste, uneaten feed, and chemicals, creating an environment that's hazardous for both fish and people. With all these factors, chemical residues, unhealthy fats, unsanitary conditions, and questionable feed, tilapia is a fish that's hard to recommend for your dinner table. The low price tag may be tempting, but it hides real health risks that could cost you much more in the long run. If you want a mild white fish, look for domestically farmed tilapia from reputable sources that follow strict standards, or better yet, choose wild-caught Alaskan pollock or cod, which are both sustainable and healthier options. Be especially skeptical of cheap imported tilapia, particularly from countries with a history of poor aquaculture practices and minimal oversight. By avoiding low-quality tilapia, you not only protect your own health, but also send a powerful message to the seafood industry that consumers demand better standards. Remember, we vote with our dollars every time we shop. Let's choose to vote for our health, our families, and the environment. Don't let a bargain fillet end up costing you your well-being. Sometimes paying a little more means getting a lot more in terms of safety and nutrition. Make informed choices at the seafood counter. Read labels, ask questions, and don't be afraid to walk away from fish that doesn't meet your standards. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button now for more insights. Next up is Atlantic salmon, almost always farmed, not wild. When you see Atlantic salmon at the store or on a menu, it's almost guaranteed to have come from a fish farm, not the open ocean. Wild-caught salmon like sockeye or coho is healthy, packed with nutrients and raised in their natural environment, but farmed Atlantic salmon is a different story altogether. Raised in crowded pens, farmed salmon are often exposed to stressful, unnatural conditions. To keep disease and parasites at bay, they're treated with pesticides and antibiotics, which can accumulate in their flesh and ultimately end up on your plate. Farmed salmon often contain high levels of PCBs and dioxins, persistent toxins linked to cancer, immune problems, and developmental issues. These chemicals build up in the fish over time, making their way into your body when you eat them. Their artificial diet, made from processed feed and vegetable oils, leads to more omega-6 fats and fewer omega-3s, diluting the health benefits you expect from eating salmon. The nutritional profile is simply not the same as wild-caught fish. To make them look appealing, synthetic coloring is added to their feed. Without these additives, farmed salmon would be a dull gray, not the vibrant pink you associate with healthy fish. The healthy pink color is engineered, masking the reality of what you're eating. It's a marketing trick designed to make farmed salmon look just as appetizing as wild, but don't be fooled by appearances. Labels like "sustainably sourced" can be misleading. Don't be fooled. These terms are often used for marketing, not as a guarantee of quality or health. If you love salmon, always choose wild-caught, especially wild Alaskan salmon. These fish are harvested from clean, cold waters and are subject to strict regulations that protect both the fish and your health. Yes, it's pricier, but you get more omega-3s, far fewer toxins, and a cleaner, more natural product. Think of it as an investment in your health and well-being. Eating a small portion of wild salmon is better than frequent farmed salmon. Even if you eat it less often, the benefits are much greater. Quality over quantity is key. It's better to savor a little of the best than to fill up on something that could harm your health. Don't trust the Atlantic salmon label. Know what you're buying. Take a moment to read the fine print and ask questions if you're unsure. Make the switch to wild for real health benefits. Your body will notice the difference, and so will your taste buds. Your body will thank you with more energy, better health, and fewer toxins to process. Don't pay a premium for a product that's not what it seems. Marketing can be deceiving, so always look beyond the label. Choose wisely at the seafood counter. Ask where your fish comes from and opt for wild-caught whenever possible. The difference is night and day, both in taste and in health impact. Once you try wild, you may never go back. Protect your health with every bite. Make informed choices, and let your meals nourish you the way nature intended. King mackerel is a mercury powerhouse, especially dangerous for pregnant women and children. Mercury from pollution accumulates up the food chain, and king mackerel, a large predatory fish, stores high levels in its flesh. Mercury is a potent neurotoxin, causing developmental delays and brain damage in children and fetuses. The FDA puts king mackerel on its do not eat list for vulnerable groups. Even healthy adults can suffer from mercury poisoning with regular consumption. Think tremors, memory loss, and numbness. The risk is real, yet king mackerel is still widely sold, often without warning. Don't confuse it with Atlantic mackerel, which is low in mercury and a healthy choice. Always check the type of mackerel you're buying. My advice, avoid king mackerel entirely. Opt for smaller, low-mercury fish like sardines, anchovies, or Atlantic mackerel. These are safer and more sustainable. Protect your brain and your family's future. Don't take unnecessary risks with high-mercury fish. Make informed choices for your health. There are plenty of safer, delicious options. Leave king mackerel off your plate. Swordfish is often seen as a premium menu item, gracing the tables of high-end restaurants and seafood markets. Its firm texture and rich flavor make it a favorite for those seeking a luxurious dining experience. But beneath its prestigious reputation lies a hidden danger. Swordfish is loaded with mercury, just like king mackerel, another top predator of the sea. Swordfish are apex predators, living up to 20 years in the wild. Over their long lives, they consume countless smaller fish, and with every meal, they accumulate more and more mercury in their bodies. This toxic metal builds up in their tissues, making swordfish one of the most contaminated fish you can eat. The FDA has issued strong warnings. Pregnant women, nursing mothers, and young children should avoid swordfish completely. The risks to developing brains and nervous systems are simply too great to ignore. Even for healthy adults, the recommendation is strict. Limit swordfish to just once a month, if at all. The potential health consequences far outweigh the fleeting pleasure of a single meal. Mercury doesn't just pass through your system. It accumulates in your body over time, especially in your brain and nervous tissue. Eating swordfish frequently can push your mercury levels into the danger zone, increasing your risk of serious health problems. Don't be fooled by a fancy restaurant setting or a beautifully plated dish. Swordfish remains a high-risk choice no matter how it's prepared or presented. Fortunately, there are safer and equally delicious alternatives for a steak-like fish experience. Try wild-caught Alaskan salmon, halibut, or mahi-mahi. Just be sure to check the sourcing and mercury levels for each, as not all fish are created equal. Mercury is a silent, invisible threat. It can cause irreversible neurological damage, affecting memory, coordination, and even mood. The effects can be subtle at first, but over time, they can become devastating. The science is clear, and the warnings are consistent. Swordfish is simply not worth the risk, no matter how tempting it may look on the menu. So next time you see swordfish featured as a chef's special, remember its toxic reputation. Think twice before ordering. Choose something safer for your brain, your health, and your family's well-being. There are plenty of delicious fish that don't come with such a heavy price. Don't trade your long-term health for a single indulgent meal. The regret isn't worth it. With so many tasty and safer fish options available, making a smart substitution is easy. Enjoy the flavors of the sea without the risk. Protect your most precious asset, your brain. Make choices that support lifelong health and mental clarity. Swordfish's prestige and luxury status simply aren't worth the potential cost to your health. Say no to this so-called prestigious poison. Your body and your mind will thank you. Catfish is a comfort food for many, but not all catfish are created equal. US farmed catfish is generally safe and well regulated. The problem is with cheap imported catfish, often Pangasius or swai from Vietnam, raised in polluted waters with little oversight. These imports can contain banned antibiotics, pesticides, and other contaminants. Overcrowded pens and poor water quality mean more disease and more chemicals. Mislabeling is common. Imported fish are sometimes sold as catfish or even as more expensive species. This deception puts your health at risk and undermines consumer trust. Always check the label for U.S. farm-raised catfish. Ask at restaurants where their catfish comes from. If it's imported, skip it. The price difference reflects real differences in safety and quality. Supporting domestic catfish means safer food and better practices. Don't gamble with your health for a cheap fillet. Be a detective about seafood origins. Read labels, ask questions, and avoid imported imposters. Enjoy catfish the safe way. Know where it comes from. Make the ethical, healthy choice. Your diligence pays off at the table. Eel or unagi is a sushi delicacy, but it's a toxic trap. Eels accumulate high levels of PCBs and mercury, especially since they live long and feed in polluted waters. Their high-fat content soaks up these toxins, making every bite a risk. Studies worldwide have found eels with contaminant levels above safety limits. Many regions have do not eat advisories for wild-caught eel. Most restaurant eel is farmed, but farming relies on capturing wild young eels, harming wild populations. Farmed eel can still be contaminated and the industry is unsustainable. Eating eel means risking exposure to cancer-causing chemicals and supporting an endangered species decline. There are safer, delicious sushi options. Try wild-caught salmon, scallops, or shrimp. Don't assume a delicacy is safe just because it's on the menu. Avoid eel for your health and the planet. Make a conscious switch to safer seafood. Protect yourself from hidden toxins. Choose wisely at the sushi bar. We've covered 6 fish with serious health risks. Tilapia farmed Atlantic salmon king mackerel. Swordfish imported catfish and eel. Avoiding them is a powerful step toward protecting your health and your families. Be an active, informed consumer. Ask where your seafood comes from, look for reputable certifications, and choose wild-caught, sustainable options. Your choices send a message to the industry. Demand safer, cleaner seafood. Share this knowledge with friends and family. Everyone deserves to know. For more practical health advice, subscribe and stay informed. Please leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Your health is truly in your hands. Thanks for watching and making smarter choices for your future.